Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Test Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live on a Sunday morning, ready to find out what's going on in the world, okay? You can find us everywhere that you look for podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, wherever. We're there. Leave us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and when we do our feedback show, we'll read them as long as they're nice, and we won't add any extra commercial breaks. It's a win-win. The official weapon of the show is the folding chair, and the unofficial sport,
bullet ball.
And bullet ball, extreme. All right. All kinds of stuff to talk about, of course, but I guess we'll start with Karen. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Do you have any
Banter? Talk to me.
Do you have any
Banter? Talk to me.
Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter. Talk to me. Banter to me.
Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter.
I do.
All right.
But I'm a banter you away. Like I said, we might not get through them all because I basically
so many.
Yeah,
because we didn't get to do any last week.
Yeah. Oh, and that kind of makes sense. Yeah, because I've been kind of just randomly.
We'll do a couple and we'll run out as we do episodes. It's fine.
No problem. My first one is, I may have said this before, but something I realized: why does everything got to have a USB plug? Sometimes when you purchase things, you want it to actually go into the wall with like real electricity, because depending on what you're doing, you want something strong, and the USB thing, it just charges, which is fine. But what I've realized about certain items, whenever you use them, they're not as powerful as something that just can go in and just pick up them watts. Because like I like to blend like smoothies in the morning, like frozen fruits and things like that I got in the freezer. And I think the one that I had, I don't know if the cup or whatever broke or whatever. So it got thrown away. So I had the base. I was like, well, the base don't do me no good if I ain't got the lid to go on it. So I just threw the thing away. And they're normally cheaper than like a standardized blender, like a lot cheaper because it's almost like a personalized one. Mm-hmm. So I kind of been, looking on Amazon, looking online. I even went to Walmart. I was just trying to look. And what's so frustrating is that all of them are like USB. I was like, bitch, I got my watch plugged. I got my phone plugged. I got my headphones. I don't have enough plugs for all these goddamn USBs. Sometimes I want something that I could just plug up, unplug it, put it to the side, and pick it up again tomorrow. And what I realized, and I've been kind of working on going online, like YouTube and stuff like that. A lot of times they say those things aren't as strong because they plug and they don't crush the ice as well and all that stuff. So I was like, why can't I just find a little small personal one? Because the thing is, they got them, but I don't want a full size one because I know you sleep in the morning, waking you up and shit. So I was like, I want something that's small and portable that don't make a lot of noise. And why does everything have to be USB? It's just frustrating. Sorry.
Nah, I hear you. And then some things just don't work the same. With the USB or whatever, but I think a lot of things are going smaller now. Appliances are going smaller, technology is going smaller, and a lot of it's less powerful because
right.
I know I experienced that with vacuum cleaners. Like I had to go and buy one that plugs in and stays plugged into the wall, because while there's many portable ones and you can use it in your car, you can take it apart, they don't be sucking as hard. I need that Vanessa Del Rio suction. I need that thing to take the skin off of it.
Right? Who want to be going over thing 4 times? Yeah. Bitch, vacuum clean.
I want to look at something on the ground and be like, the vacuum cleaner can handle that. And the only ones that can do it are the ones that stay plugged in as you vacuum. The other ones aren't as powerful. Same thing with the cleaning utensils. Like I have some, like, oh, you can clean your bathtub with this thing, but the ones that are the best to me we're never going to get past the old school, like stay plugged in, use all the electricity in your house version. So I agree. The economy got to be down bad, because I keep seeing movie stars doing TV ads, and it's got to be hard for other actors, because whenever you do that, you push everybody else down a level. And so seeing Bradley Cooper do an ad for shampoo or Verizon,
Uber Eats
or whatever, whatever. Just seeing him do that means there's a guy that used to be the guy that they called to be like, hey, we need a guy to do the be the guy that has Verizon. And you used to get famous off of that. Like the guy, the Verizon guy was a guy for a while. Like we was like, damn, that dude is famous now.
Same thing with the Geico lady.
The Geico lady?
Flo.
That's not Geico. Flo is Progressive.
I mean, yeah, that's what I meant. Flo from Progressive. Yeah, Flo, she was just like a normal person, and after a while, it was like, okay, she is that person.
Yeah, Jake from State Farm. Right. Like, but it meant like you was making a living. Like you was somebody. There was a wrong of an actor that you could be, where it's like, yo, this your big break. And maybe we never see you in a lot of shit. Maybe, you get typecast, but you'll never be broke or whatever. You'll make some money. But that's gotta suck when it's like, I think I'm gonna be the Verizon guy, and it's like, actually, no, it's gonna be Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
Woody Harrelson's gonna be promoting this.
And they
bullshit.
Probably can pay you a lot less, but they were like, nope, we got the star, basically.
Yeah, but it means that those stars, that used to be like movie stars, and that would be how they made their money. And then I blame like streaming, because I think once movies went to streaming, that meant big stars were becoming small screen stars, regardless of how they wanted it to work out or whatever. And it just blurred the lines to where like Leonardo DiCaprio or Denzel Washington can be doing a movie theater movie, but then they can also be doing a just straight to Apple TV movie. And once you start blurring those lines, like the demarcations actually push people down, because it's like, if I can get Scarlett Johansson to eat a Big Mac, why the fuck do I want to get Gaston Almonte to eat a Big Mac? Even if Gaston Almonte this might be his big break, and people might be more relatable, for some reason people are like, nope, I need to see ScarJo eat that Big Mac. So yeah, I think it's gotta suck for those guys. I'll be watching TV like, is this a movie ad? Like,
yes, I'll be confused sometimes.
Bradley Cooper's just buying a phone? I thought this was like for the next movie he's in, but this has nothing to do with that.
Agreed. And I just realized, well, I've been knew this, but Roger made me come to the realization: simple marketing works. Like, people laugh and they joke about, I won't get caught, but simple marketing works on me. Was going down the road, I looked up and I seen a sign for Bojangles for Cajun bow rounds. And I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get me some."
For those that don't know, if you're not from the South, Bojangles has Cajun fries. Their fries are all seasoned with Cajun seasoning. They're delicious unless they over season them. Then they're just salty pieces of mess. But when they're good, they're good. But in the morning they do bow rounds, which are kind of like a hash brown / potato.
Is in a circle.
Yeah, and you get like 3 of them. They're thick. They've been fried. They're delicious, but I'm sure that I don't even look at the calories.
I don't even. Nope.
But so that's what a bow round is. It's different than a fry. For those that don't know.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for explaining that, baby. For people outside of the market. And so I was like, "Ooh, bow rounds." I was like, "Ooh, Cajun bow rounds." And Roger looked at me. He said, "Them ain't nothing but bow rounds with Cajun salt." And I say, damn, they got me with the secret marketing. I'm not the secret marketing, but the simple marketing. It's like, take something we already have, jazz hands it up and present it again. And I'm like, oh, I got to try that, even though I know what a bow round is, and I know they have Cajun salt. But for some reason, it got me that. And the other thing that got me was we got is it the Red Zone? I think, yeah, we got the Red Zone. And so the big thing was the NFL bought the Red Zone. And so the big thing was like, we going to do commercials. And so people got mad and upset and things like that. But they slid in the commercial. I didn't even realize it. And I was like, oh, shit, that is a commercial. Roger's like, yep, that's how to get you. And he did like a live read. And my thing is, if we're going to have commercials, make it so it don't rock my world. And so it was just integrated in, and child, I was fine with that. I realized I am the simpleton. This is why they don't complicate commercials and shit like that for people like me. That's like it's simple. Oh, jazz hands, I'm here. Let's dance together.
The irony is that those commercials have been in Red Zone already for a long time. But they just, and they're not very intrusive, and people just like being upset. But one of the things people don't count that's also been advertising and it's been in Red Zone for a long time is all the sponsorships. It's we're going to the Buffalo Wild Wings quad box.
Yes.
We're gonna look at the All Hands. The State Farm Good Hands replay of the week or whatever. Like all that stuff is ads. Anyway, but yeah, it's. But yeah, simple marketing is funny, and I think fast food companies probably do it the most because they remix the same ingredients into different stuff, but it's all the same shit. Taco Bell is probably the best at it.
Taco Bell is the king of that.
But yeah, that the new Cajun bow rounds is like we already have. I guarantee you, there's people that work there that's been doing that. It's like, yeah, man, put some Cajun seasoning on there.
Doing that shit for years.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, why don't we just sell it?
Yeah. I remember when Megan Thee Stallion had a deal with Popeyes and they had hottie sauce. And I was like, hottie sauce tastes a lot like they sweet hot sauce that they already had. But you throw that Megan Thee Stallion on there, it's like, this different, So, yeah, just remix it.
Yeah, the only sauce that they didn't have remix was that B2K, not BTS. They had
from McDonald's.
From McDonald's, they had a sauce, and I've never tasted a sauce like that. They've never had it on their menu.
But even that, I bet you it's like they took sweet and sour sauce and mixed it with hot mustard. Like
or something like that. I see what you're saying.
Be inventing the wheel. They don't got a secret mix chef in the back that's back there cooking
with a Mick degree.
Yeah,
mix scientists.
Yeah, they just remixing stuff. I was watching football the other day, and they were going into halftime, and I see it all the time. But whenever there's a kicker that's about to kick a field goal, and the coach has timeouts on the other team, a lot of times they'll call a timeout right before the kicker is about to kick the ball.
I hate that bullshit.
Yeah, they call it freezing the kicker.
Right.
And I don't know that there's any math or science to freezing the kicker working. If it's just superstition or what, or coaches just don't want to go into the end of the game press conference and explain why they still had timeouts left. I don't know.
Right.
But I don't think it works.
And
here's why I don't think it works. Because they only do it at the end of the half or the end of the fourth quarter. If it worked, why would you ever let a motherfucker kick a field goal without rattling their brain? I don't give a fuck if it's 0-0 in the first quarter. They going for a field goal, timeout.
Yes.
If I can reduce the probability of them hitting a field goal by 50% or some shit, then I'm just doing it randomly. I'm not only waiting until we absolutely need it. What if you don't need it at the end of the half because you made them go 0 for 3 field goals throughout the first half, so you ain't really worried about that shit? It don't work. It's got to be superstition, and coaches probably just do it out of just, man, I gotta look like I'm coaching. Gotta look like I'm doing something.
I think a lot of it, because like you said, they don't do it at the halves and at the end of the game. So a lot of them, like, I need to use my timeouts. I can't, like, I can't go in, like you say, to the press conference or have somebody throw a microphone in my mouth and we had a timeout that we didn't use.
Yeah, my favorite thing is when they try to do it, but they do it too late, and so the kicker actually gets a free practice kick.
Yes.
Because they hate that. They hate when because they be out there right next to the ref, like, oh, not now, okay, now. And I'm like, man, it's so good when they do it too late, and they still call the timeout, but it's like the guy gets a practice kick now, so now he's like, okay, cool, I should go a little to the left. And my favorite is when they miss the practice kick, but the ref gives them the timeout, so now he's got a do-over. So he would have missed the kick, but now you done gave him a chance to line that bitch up and be like, okay, to the left. I see the wind is blowing a little harder.
I've seen that happen before too.
It's the best, but yeah, freezing the kicker is bullshit, superstitious stuff.
I feel you on that one. This one is more of a tank than the kind of a random thought. Me and Roger, we was going to the Costco's and kind of weaving in and out of traffic, and it's this new Indian place that's about to open up, like I guess an Indian spice type of place, and it used to be a guitar center. And I don't know why I was talking to Roger. I was like, ain't that where the Guitar Hero used to be? And my brain He said, Karen, I think that's a video game. I was like, God damn, it do got guitar in it, but it's not the same. Guitar Center, that's the place where, you know, you get the drums and and all your stuff for like performing and all that stuff. So for some reason, I call that bitch Guitar Hero, and I don't know why. I just thought guitar and went from the end and jumped off the cliff.
And last one for me, I was leaving the gym and I saw a dude going in the gym and he had on pajamas underneath his basketball shorts. And he was carrying a bag of McDonald's walking into the gym. And I just want to say I appreciate his commitment to sending mixed signals out to the world. Like,
they don't know what to think.
That you can't judge a book by its cover because you don't know what's going on with that book. He's doing everything opposite. He's existing in two different realities. He's like, I'm just here to put on my pajamas and sleep through the day, get a bag of McDonald's, and also, you know, let me put on some basketball shorts, go to the gym, shoot around. I don't know what that man was going to do when he got in there.
And I got some McDonald's on the way.
I don't know. He had McDonald's in his hand, so it wasn't like he had it on the way. It was with him walking in the gym. He was going to eat McDonald's in the gym. I was like, this dude is just built different. We all need to aspire to that level of complexity. You know, he was sending out, like, he was being the authentic him. I feel like we should all be able to do that. You know, I don't got it. When I'm in gym mode, I'm like, keep the McDonald's away. I don't want pajamas. I want athletic gear. I'm about to go in here and bust a sweat.
I'm about to rest.
But maybe between sets he eats fries and then lays down and reads a book and then he gets up and
between the 2 to 3 minute breaks.
Then he like, all right, let me bust another set of these squats out. Let me hit the treadmill real quick and then finish my Big Mac. I don't know what he was gonna do, but I appreciate that man for just existing.
That's hilarious. And since that was your last one, I'm gonna do my last one. I'm gonna do one more.
Okay.
I've never put like this. We had went to go check out. We was checking out of a place, and you know how now everybody asks you want to round up and all that stuff.
Right.
Nothing worse than, because I know most of the time they hear no. So we basically told the person no, and they was like, "Are you sure?" And I wanted to be like, "Bitch, I heard you. I said no. Like, why are you asking me again? Are you getting a commission on this? Leave us alone. Like, quit harassing me."
Yeah, she asked me. That's because I was paying. But yeah, she was a nice young black lady, and she was just like, "Do you want to round up for diabetes?" And I said no, and then she said, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Damn, bitch. You trying to say I got diabetes? What are you trying to say?"
And then I'm okay, gonna benefit from this.
So if I got it, then let me save the money for myself. Maybe I'm gonna need it for my dialysis or whatever. Stop judging people. But yeah, that was the first time I seen somebody like, and I wonder how much it helps. I wonder how many people go, you know what, you right, round up.
And
you know,
people panic because she said, "Are you sure?" Right?
Because I think it would have worked on you. Like you're here getting the attitude and acting like you would have popped off, but you wouldn't have. You would have absolutely rounded up, and then you would have wrote down.
Like, damn, they got me. Mm-hmm. That's simple marketing.
But yeah, I never seen rounding up. Pressure buying. I never right? Like that was. Are you
getting a commission? Do you got stocks in this baby?
Right. I was like, I hate when they say stuff like, in general, like, we want to round up for the kids. Which kids? I need to know the kids. Bring the kids in here. I like to meet them because maybe I don't want to fuck with them kids. I depend on what these little future motherfuckers is gonna be. I mean, if they like a little future serial killer, I'll keep my money.
Right. If it's for the future Republicans of America, I might decline.
Can you just pull out like what they grades is real quick? Like, what's the kids? How the kids doing? You know, I want to know it's going to a good cause. All right, that's it for the banter segment. Let's get into politics till we get mad.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's a Texas company, Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, we can't get fooled again."
Tell you what, I don't know about you,
But I'm going to go to bed.
All right, let's get into some of this politics till we get mad. Here's a kid who found out some disturbing news and started crying.
A real person?
No, he's fake.
No.
Andy, what's wrong?
Because Donald Trump a real person.
Yes, Donald Trump is a real person.
I feel you, buddy.
Baby, I feel every time I come to that realization, I bust out and cry too. Is he a real person? Did they really elect him? Baby, me and you on the same page.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
Every goddamn day.
We've all been there, dog. That's everyone's inner child. Let's see. Texas man arrested for threats against NYC mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. A Texas man has been arrested for leaving multiple expletive-laden threats via voicemail and email to kill New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. Jeremy Fistel, 43, was arraigned in Queens Criminal Superior Court on charges of threatening Mamdani in 3 expletive-laden calls in June and July via an email sent through Mamdani's campaign portal. The defendant threatened an elected official by leaving a series of increasingly alarming anti-Muslim messages. We take threats of violence against any office holder extremely seriously. There is no room for hate or bigotry in our political discourse, said Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz. The first call was made June 11th. Hey, Zoran, you should go back to fucking Uganda before someone shoots you in the fucking head and gets rid of your whole fucking family too. All right, you piece of shit. He added, Muslims don't belong here. They're not compatible with our Western values. So stop spewing your anti-Semitic rhetoric. Shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of America, he said. He was arrested in Plano, Texas on September 11th and held there for a week, his defense lawyer said. What I think is interesting on multiple angles on this, but I think the most interesting angle is he's from Texas. And I say this about social media because my social media knows I'm interested in politics. I'm sure it knows I'm interested in progressive left-wing politics mostly. And every time I log into Twitter for a while this summer, especially, and I saw it happening to all my friends too. It was Mamdani, New York City mayor, Mamdani, Eric Adams, Cuomo, New York City election, New York City this, New York City that. I don't live in New York City.
Do not. And
it's not that I wish anything bad on New York City, but I literally do not care about the mayoral race.
Right, because I don't vote in it.
I understand the implications that could possibly exist for like other Democratic candidates, down ballot situations, blah, blah, blah. But literally, it will not change my life in any way, not significantly or insignificantly, if this guy wins his election or loses his election. This is a city that voted in Eric Adams. This is a city that had Bill de Blasio. This is a city that had Giuliani. Like, I don't know much about how New York gets down. I know when I was interested in their race years ago, Maya Wiley seemed to be the person everybody thought should win. They had ranked voting. They thought that made her a shoo-in, and then Eric Adams won. I don't know what's going on in that city.
Right.
Those people in that city got a lot more stuff to worry about in the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get why they would be preoccupied.
Agreed.
But so what I started doing is every time I was suggested one of these Mamdani videos, whether someone was mad at him, whether Eric Adams was doing something, whether Cuomo was saying something, I actually hit not interested. I would take the time, hit the 3 buttons, not interested. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Well, I stopped seeing it eventually. But if it was showing that to me in North Carolina, then it was showing it to this man in Texas.
Right, because it showed it to everybody.
And of course, people outside of that race, politicians, have chimed in or refused to chime in, based on their own predilections. But, you got people like, we can't have a Muslim doing this. Charlie Kirk was using Islamophobia against this man. So it had become a bigger story. One of these lightning rods. And this person to me seems like a person who was radicalized or told or obsessed about this, because it has to be because of social media, because he's not from there.
Right.
This election has no bearing on this man's life at all. There's no reason for this crazy person to even be worried about Mamdani, let alone threatening him. And so I think this is emblematic of that. Maybe it's because I'm reading the book Digital Madness, but there's the chapters I'm on about radicalization and about like these stories of these people that they already have mental health issues, but the way that you're almost aimed is almost like a gun. Like you're almost pointed at, here's a target. This guy was pointed at, here's a lightning rod. You should be paying attention to this. And I'm sure it's because of Fox News and One American News or whatever the fuck else, and Trump and Truth Social. Like, it's not just like one site. It's not just Twitter. I'm on Twitter, so that's the one I noticed. But I guarantee you, Mamdani's big on TikTok, and the people that hate him are big on TikTok. Like, all of this stuff is kind of warping our brains and controlling like the areas that we concentrate the most on. And so it's really up to us to have discernment and be like, this is not an area that affects my life. Why am I allowing this to stress me out? That being said, lock them up, throw away the key. And I wonder if they took this more seriously, because it's like Charlie Kirk got shot. And it's like, yeah, we got to absolutely, because I think Charlie Kirk got shot on the 10th or something. And they arrested this guy on the 11th. I wonder if it's like, yeah, we got to round up everyone who's threatening public people. I know Congress people are paying more for their security and re-upping their security right now. Like, people are very much realizing that this political violence is not going to stop, and it possibly could escalate.
I 100% agree. And the thing that's always been wild about me about New York, and I understand New York is quote unquote America's city, but New York does not run America, even though it's the media capital and all that stuff. The media in particular has a delusion that what happens there is just rocks the rest of the world. When you have people who don't know who y'all mayor is, could give a fuck less who y'all mayor is, because they go, I live in California, Texas, or whatever, so I don't give a fuck about y'all mayor, New York City, because I don't live in New York City.
Yeah.
And but every time something like this happens, it's always promoted like it is the biggest thing, and you ought to be following this shit.
For New York City.
Yeah, for New York City.
Okay, yeah.
We get more on New York City shit than we actually do on like the big shit that matters, like for the president and all that shit. Like, for those are big, and we get that. But for some reason, New York is kind of right there, right behind us sometimes. And I
understand it's symbolic and it's emblematic of some shit, but just it truly is not something that should be a national story that gets everybody's goat. And I worry that it's not just New York. I worry that with this Republican administration attacking black cities, the way they're doing it is through the mayors. Like like right now, they want to bring the National Guard. They're clearly making a move to try to do something to our city, our black city. And all of a sudden, you start seeing your mayor's name in the press. It's Vi Lyles. Chicago's mayor, right? Baltimore's mayor. So I think but I think the point I'm trying to make is it's not as simple as, wow, they're just using this as a political like lightning rod. The lightning rod has people out here who want to like hurt these people,
right?
And so
they're just trying to do their jobs.
Yeah. So the cost. This is not just as simple as, oh, they're talking shit about Vi Lyles, or they're talking shit about Marion Bowser or whatever. They're putting crosshairs on some of these people because they know the rhetoric that they're spreading, the Islamophobia that's unchecked, the hatred, these code words, socialist and this. And I'm not saying that these people might, like Mamdani might be a socialist, but a lot of times the people they say that about aren't even socialists. And they're not saying it in some like, well, we just want to define who these people are. They're saying it like socialists are bad, you should go get them somehow, they're hurting you somehow, they're gonna do something. I remember I was on Karen Hunter's show, and there was a black man from Texas who called in and was talking about his trepidation over Mamdani or something, and like Karen and I both had to kind of set them straight to be like, why would this even matter for you?
Right, you don't get a vote in this.
So like let's say that you think he's not going to govern New York City correctly. What would that matter for you in Texas? right?
Right, there's shit going on in Texas that needs your attention.
What would it matter? It matters to you because it's preoccupying a certain percentage of your media diet. So you're thinking this is important. And it's not just people like this that want to harm people or people that hate Mamdani. There's also people that love Mamdani, but they don't realize that what's happening is you love them because it's dominating a percentage of your media intake. And you didn't choose that. Like, you didn't wake up in the morning and say, I would like 45% of my, well, not 45, let's say 20% of the things I read to be about the New York City mayoral election. You didn't choose that. Something chose that for you, threw it in your face, and suddenly it became 20% more important in your life when it's really not changing anything. But yeah, I think the obvious story is that the political violence and its threats and all that stuff. But the story underneath that I care about is like, how do you get obsessed with this? Because it doesn't make sense that you should.
Right. And on top of that, a lot of times, a lot of these crosshairs, and like you said, and put names, most of these people, and even a lot of the harassing emails and phone calls and things that they get are people outside of your state. So that shows you that, like you say, something has infiltrated their lives in these far off thousands and hundreds of thousands of miles away, and sometimes other parts of the world,
right? Yeah,
where they think that their opinion is that goddamn important.
I told you I had a guy in my Twitter mentions talking about how I should be more like critical and angry about Democrats, and this motherfucker was from Britain. If he was a real person, so it's just like that is his media diet.
Yes.
His media diet has somehow skewed or warped his priorities into whatever's going on in American politics is the most important thing. And Rod Morrow's opinion, just a guy with some followers on Twitter that ain't changing the world with just an opinion or not, somehow I need to join him and align in his cause of denigrating the Democrats from abroad. Like, you don't live here, you don't have to deal with the consequences of Republicans running your state or your government because you're not here. It'll affect you maybe in some distant way, but not in the way that it's affecting me.
Right.
But yeah, it's just interesting because that is 100% because the algorithm put my tweet in his face.
Yes.
To be like, we know you ain't going to like this. Go tell him. By the way, if you ever fix yourself to type the sentence, I followed you for a blank amount of years, but now you gone too far. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Take a breath. Take a breath. That's all. Even if it's with this podcast. If you about to be like, man, you said no sugar and grits. I followed you for 20 years. Just take a breath. Take a breath. Because either A, you're going to take a breath and realize, why am I making this shit that important? If I've enjoyed this motherfucker for this long, then this one thing is probably not the deal breaker that feels like in this moment.
Agreed.
Why am I making this thing so important? And I'm not talking about like somebody coming on here and being like, you know what? I don't think Asian people are people. Like, I'm not talking about something crazy. I'm just saying like the normal discourse you would have with a human being where human beings have varying degrees of opinions. You're not going to agree on everything. But then the second thing is, you don't feel incredibly corny? like I've quit things before. We've all quit things before, but man, that strongly worded letter on the way out is just one of those like, man, I
got to have the last word.
Maybe I'm self-conscious because it's not even it's something. Maybe I'm self-conscious, but I'm like, man, I would feel like kind of a loser if I was like, if I'm going to cancel Time Warner, I'm like, I've had Time Warner for 12 years. And let me tell you something. I'm like, no, cancel. Bye. You don't care. I don't care. That's the thing. We moving on.
Mm-hmm.
The Labor Department, remember when they gave everybody those fork in the road letters from the Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE, aka Elon Musk?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, hey, take this money or we gonna fire you. You can either take this money now and we're gonna pay you for some more time, or you can get fired tomorrow. We ain't gonna give you no benefits. And so people was like, fuck them, don't take that offer. But some people was like, man, I don't want to work for Elon Musk anyway, thank you, I'll go find something else. Well, they are now bringing back the people who took the offer. Earlier this year,
because they don't want to pay them. They didn't have the money.
No. I love how you just jumped to conclusions and made some stuff up, Justin. But that's not what happened. I have the words in front of me.
Okay, go ahead and read your
I'm
words.
Gonna tell you what happened.
Okay, please do.
Like we always do. And it's much worse than what you just thought.
Oh shit, it's much worse.
It's much worse in my opinion.
Oh no.
So they gave them that offer of get full pay and benefits for months and don't come to work. And then they looked around and said, oh damn, we don't have anybody that knows how to run this shit. So they hired back the people, reinstated them, and they still get to keep that money. So now they're getting double paid. Good. Which is much worse for the goals that they had stated, which was we're saving money.
I hate to be like this. Fuck 'em.
You actually cost the government more money.
Yes.
In your fucking chainsaw, in your monkey with a AK-47 ass antics. You've only made shit worse in the ways that many of us predicted. Many of us were like, you can't have that kind of brain drain. Either the agency will completely stop functioning or something will happen and you'll have to have these people come back.
Yes, them years of experience. What is this?
And so, yeah, the agency's internal website for processing employee IT requests also has a banner reading, welcoming back returning DRP employees. I want to know what that's like, because I feel like the polarity is reversed. Because for people that took that offer, I know at the time it was a lot of people that stayed that was like, they're going to have to fire me. Fuck that. And when you took that offer, they was like, really, dummy? Do you even think you're going to get that money?
Right. Because everybody was like, are they even going to honor it?
But now when you come back and you getting double checks.
Double the pay.
Now you the cock of the walk. You walking in the break room like, I'll take 3 sugars and 4 creams because I can't afford it. Anybody else needs some coffee?
You know what? That will be one time I'll be like, you know what? I think I'm going to come in the office. In fact, shit, I'm going to come 5 days a week. I got the parking.
Yeah, I can pay for the gas in my new car.
I got the lunch money.
I'm going to pull up in the parking lot, windows down. They see me rolling. They hating.
Yes.
Oh, man. But yeah, the reinstatements demonstrate the whiplash federal workers face when President Donald Trump's directives to shrink the government collide with demands of an agency's day-to-day work. And this is why also, for all y'all that were calling Elon Musk a genius, this was his handiwork.
Yes, it was.
And keep in mind, as these cuts were being made, this is when he used to be on Twitter in everybody's face. What happened to that? But remember, he used to be in Twitter on everybody's face and he was gloating and he would be at fucking press conferences and rallies holding chainsaws and making fun of the fact that he was fucking up people's lives and their ability to earn money. And I still remember constant tweets and corrections and that fucking thing they do on Twitter where it puts extra context at the end, like, I know he just said this, but this the truth. And all the time you will hear people be like, yeah, so this is why cutting these jobs isn't gonna work. This is why this is bad. Okay, but when we have an emergency, boom. Okay, you actually need blank amount of people to make this happen. Okay, you won't be able to transition to the. And now look at it. It's coming to fruition. And it didn't take that long. I remember these cuts were being made, 3-4 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
So you done had to pay these people and pay to have them come back.
Yeah, and depending on how they left and how they packages and if they retired and all that stuff, they gonna still get that money.
And the thing that pisses me off the most is because our news is fucking stupid. We just have stupid news, right?
Yes, we do.
News. I think we can admit that. Mm-hmm. It really pisses me off that we won't have a moment of at least some sort of like, remember when you said, and you came on the air and you defended these fucking stupid ass cuts?
Yes.
Because there was a lot of politicians and spokespeople. There were even some people that were either quote unquote neutral or like Democrat leaning who were like, well, you know, government waste does need to be. And it's like every time we audit the fucking government, which is constantly, even under Democrats, you see there's not a lot of waste. Government doesn't. It's something that we have accepted as one of these platitudes. But like government in a lot of cases is extremely efficient. But when you have such a like anti-government thing in this country that I think stems from white supremacy, don't get me started, it's kind of deep.
I do
but
too.
But a lot of it becomes they're wasting money, right? They must be wasting money. Look at all these black people getting jobs. They must be wasting. It can't be efficient. It's terrible.
People are getting SNAP benefits. They must be wasting money.
Yeah, but then when you go and audit the shit, you find out like, no, everybody on SNAP does have jobs.
Yes,
why are we
and working?
So why are we doing it? The only people that don't have jobs can't work.
Right, physically can't.
People with these benefits aren't buying steaks, and not that it, we can get into the principles of should it be allowed or not. Fuck that. Let's talk about what's happening for real, because I think that's more important. That's not happening.
That is not happening.
I went to the store anecdotally and I saw somebody getting nothing but annihilators and they had food stamps, and you're like, that's not true. But in addition to that, not being, whether you would go, well, that should be fine or not, the fact that it's not true should be the first on the priority list.
Right. If I'm getting food stamps, that means I need the assistance. Yeah, what are we doing? It's kind of the end after that.
Yeah, it's just an example. But my point being, like, this is what happens when we allow these platitudes and these like talking points that aren't moored in truth to happen, because we just cost the government more money at trying to look like we had big swinging dicks and we're cutting all the fucking things.
And I guess we're gonna pay for that, taxpayers.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So Charlie Kirk died and or was killed. He was assassinated. And a right-wing account tweeted out, this morning a family member went to Starbucks and ordered Charlie Kirk's favorite drink, Mint Majesty with honey. When their cup came back, it was marked with the word loser scribbled across it with a smiley face at the end. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. When I first saw this the first time, I 100% thought this did not happen.
Same thing. I've been to too many Starbucks. I was like, this did not happen.
It was giving blacks rule.
Yes.
It was giving blacks rule. Okay.
It was giving somebody putting pigs.
It was backwards B on the face. You know what I mean? It was not. It just wasn't. I said nobody did this.
Nobody.
Also, the irony that Charlie Kirk liked Starbucks and had a favorite drink there is crazy to me, because Republicans have been trying to turn Starbucks into some sort of like liberal bastion of like progressive. Like, you just walk into Starbucks, a drag queen greets you, the barista is trans, everyone in there is of color, gay people just start kissing. Like, they just made it sound
right, they do.
Like, you just walk in, a Black Lives Matter activist is in there with a sign, like, America's obsession with consumerism is so sad, because, and I know it's not just conservatives, we're all so obsessed with consumerism, but like, it's so sad because we turn stuff like going to get coffee into politics when it's really not. It's like, and I get it. Some of y'all listening right now, like, I ain't had Starbucks because I'm boycotting them. Right. You and Charlie Kirk and the fucking Republican, everybody boycotting Starbucks, the number one coffee selling motherfucking business on every goddamn corner, expanding every night. Sure, everybody's boycotting them. Well, it doesn't seem to be doing a goddamn thing. Maybe they shares is going down, but the fucking the goddamn Starbucks is still here. You know what I mean? But it's our obsession with consumerism, right? We can't be bothered to vote, right? We can't be bothered to be civic participants in our own country.
But we can take the time for that.
That determines the actual laws that we operate by, and who is and who isn't protected. Well, when we fail to do that, that's when we go to the fucking Starbucks cups, because that's an easier cop out to be like, whether you did or did not spend that $5 a day on coffee. No offense either way, but y'all know what I mean. It's just this, we're able to mock it because this time it's Republicans, but I think it's just as silly when it's fucking a bunch of other shit too. Like we're obsessed with the consumerism of it. That being said, I can't think of a more privileged, a sign that you're not downtrodden at all. I can't think of a sign that you're not a minority group or a marginalized person than going into a fucking Starbucks, making them write Charlie Kirk's name as your drink name, like who it goes to, and acting like you're mourning this guy, or you're doing something, you're showing Starbucks, you're
spending your money,
you're owning the libs. Not even just spending your money, just what my guess is that this doesn't mean anything to a person that works there.
No.
Like, honestly,
I don't care. Right. If I'm working there,
I didn't like Charlie Kirk, but if I worked at Starbucks and you said, let me get a whatever the fuck mint mimosa, whatever the fuck, and Charlie Kirk is the name, I'll be okay. Charlie Kirk,
and kept it trucking.
Yeah, you didn't change anything for my day. I'm not upset. If anything, when you leave, I'll be like, what a fucking weirdo. And the worst part is going to be when 12 of you fucking Karens order a Charlie Kirk at the same time, and now y'all fighting over which drink is whose.
Yes!
I was the first Charlie Kirk? Well, I don't know. It's just say Charlie Kirk. Y'all said the same shit.
Right.
Y'all need to start using middle initials or some motherfucking thing, because I can't tell the difference. Everybody ordered the same exact drink and the same name, so
y'all figured it out.
Yeah, good luck. I'm just sitting Charlie Kirk's on the counter. Y'all just, matter of fact, when you walk in, you be like, Charlie Kirk. I'll be like, it's right there. You didn't even pour it. You didn't even pour it. I poured it an hour ago. Put it in the microwave. You good?
Right.
Oh, you own me. Ooh, oh boy, I'm gonna cry liberal tears tonight. Like, who cares? But yeah, turns out this person lied.
That makes sense. Did they do a video or something?
They have surveillance video.
Yeah, because they record
timestamp footage at the Starbucks. It does not show any of the workers writing that message. Instead, the note appears to say to have added it after the beverage was handed off, likely by someone else, meaning that you fake fuck, you fucking not oppressed bitch. I need to be oppressed ass nigga. You don't have no real problems except trying to make problems for other people. You had to go fake a problem.
Right.
You had to fake that there was outrage about this. You probably was disappointed when you ordered it and it just got your drink.
Just got your no problem.
You was like, did anybody spit in this? No. Fuck. You ain't mad that do you know who he is? You know who he is? Oh, y'all do? Do you know what happened to him? Oh, you do? How does it? Y'all ain't pressed? What you mean get next in line? What you mean?
Yeah, next.
Okay, well, shit. Well, can I borrow a marker? Like, what?
Can I borrow a marker?
Like, what kind of fake ass?
Right, because particularly in Starbucks, they record everything. They record behind the counter, how they make the drinks and all that shit. So if somebody would have did something like this, them 45 cameras in there would have picked it up.
And if you met the public, this ain't even like a top 5 problem for a Starbucks employee for the day.
No, it's not.
Like, I'm sure they get weight. They first of all, they can't spell everybody's name right. So you gonna be like, let me get this for Charlie Kirk. It's gonna come back and be like Curtis Knight. They're like, what? How you get that out of?
I don't blame. I'm hearing names all goddamn day.
Yeah, Charles Curfew.
Right?
Who
is that?
Chuck E. Cheese. Let's see. School board meeting descends into chaos over comments on Charlie Kirk. So basically what really happened, and this was happening during the pandemic too, and it wasn't necessarily covered the best by the media, but Republican conservative influencer showed up at a school board meeting in Maine. I don't even know if this person's from the area.
Right.
But he showed up there and was trying to create social media content. He's known as Truth Slinger, which once again, Republicans, everything the opposite
of what they say they're gonna do, right?
Yeah, it's just lie keeper. Anyway, Truth Slinger, lie catcher. He showed up with his social media idea and to be
while they having a real school board meeting, right?
Yeah,
right.
to try to find out, because there was an unknown teacher who was placed on leave last week over comments they made about the killing of Charlie Kirk. And so he wanted to show up and to condemn the teacher and make a big ass scene. He's holding his phone, he's recording everything, he's trying to, once again, they need to feel like they're being oppressed, right? Keep in mind, they suspended the teacher. And if that same teacher would have been like, I say all lives matter, they would have been like, I can't believe y'all suspended that teacher. What's wrong with y'all? All lives do matter, right? But anyway, He condemned the teacher and accused the district of allowing communist propaganda in schools. After opening with a prayer, he
You
quickly
don't even belong here. You don't got no kids here. Why are you here?
Right. He escalated matters, loudly criticizing the teacher by name, challenging the board for not taking action. You can bang that all you want, because the teacher board chair started banging her gavel. He said, "You can bang that all you want, lady," ignoring the calls to follow the board rules. So he's just literally there to be disruptive.
Right.
You can see from this picture
Get
here.
the cops to drag your ass out of here. Get the fuck out of here, dog.
Right. And he's like wearing a MAGA shirt, a red shirt that says something about evil and good men do nothing or some shit. I don't know.
Right. And that got to be frightening for them, because we don't know if you're going to harm us.
Right. And if you look at this meeting, guys, this is just them in a library with a table. There's a couple police officers there. This isn't even one of those like public, like, oh, there's 57 people from the public community that are concerned about this.
Right. And the board is separate. Right. Like separate from their speaking out. Right.
Well, no, what I mean is, like, sometimes you'll have these like public hearings where there's like 70 people in attendance because at least 70 people in the community care. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm saying they were having a board meeting. This man basically stormed the meeting. It's completely not about the public. Like, this is not about a issue of public concern that everyone's like,
I see what you're saying.
Our community really wants to get behind this. This dude is trying to just make content out of something where the community seems to have handled it.
Yes, the personal is suspended. We're gonna take the matters beyond this, fire, whatever we need to do. Like, we've done something. They are currently not working.
The community doesn't seem incensed, is my point.
Right.
He wants to make content. Then the chair called a recess. And then when they reconvened, Budnar resumed speaking and again raised his voice. "I demand counseling for kids who were hurt by Charlie Kirk's death that the teacher dissed."
You don't get the fuck out of our faces.
So now we believe in counseling? So now the kids not soft millennial cucks that need coddling? So now the kids are fragile little snowflakes that need counseling. Now, when it's George Floyd, it was like, no, why y'all giving them kids counseling? They don't need no counseling. When it's a school shooting, hey, buck up, go get a gun.
Right.
Get a backpack vest, bulletproof vest.
When it was COVID and the kids come back to school, you losing your teacher, you losing your classmates, you losing your family members, all at fucking once. Nobody gave a shit about motherfucking counseling, and that shit impacts you more than this.
At least that side of the aisle didn't care about their counseling. But Charlie Kirk gets shot. They like, guys, we need to have a moment of silence. We got to bring these kids together. He can have free speech. He just can't have a job on taxpayer money, he said about the teacher. As the comment drew applause from the audience, which I do not see in any of these pictures, but okay. I guess the 2-3 people at the table counts the audience. I don't know. Bud not only continued to escalate, this time accusing Buck of ignoring him. "You're a foul, evil woman. You're a coward," he shouted, just as board member Andrew Finaro interjected in defense of the school board chair. "Don't you insult that woman," he said. "Why not?" he shot back. "Because she's doing the best she can, and you don't know what we think. We haven't made a decision yet." "You should have made your decision when you found out," he yelled. "We found out Friday. We're doing the best we can. It's too slow. The world is moving on way too fast for you, old man." Keep in mind, this man is an old man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe because the camera is always pointed the other way, he don't want to, or he just in denial. Or maybe, it could be that thing where evil people just be looking old. So maybe he's 27, but he look old to me.
Yeah, aging hard.
He look old to me. He's seen rivers. But yeah, the board recessed again. When they returned, they tried to resume business, including reports from committees, but seemingly fueled by the already tense situation. Another man began speaking out of turn, prompting police officers to flank him and ask him to leave. Now, why the other dude didn't get asked to leave?
Right.
After this happened, Bardner returned to the room with his phone out, filming the interaction. He said, "I'm right, sir," he said to Finaro. "I don't know that you're right," Finaro shot back. "You should just go back down south and get some more clicks on your little YouTube. Isn't that what this is about?" Right. He's not even from the community. I knew it. The situation continued to unravel. Board members stood from their seats and the audio from the live stream was cut out. when it resumed, but Bolnar was in front of Venaro filming him. Venaro then slapped the phone out of his hand, sparking a loud crowd reaction. Police quickly intervened, stepping between the two men. First of all, y'all should have been did something.
I'm about to say, the fuck is the police doing? When he came in there with that ruckus, sir, get out of here. Like, immediately this shit should end. He shouldn't have been able to come back several times. Right. What are we doing here?
So then they adjourned the meeting by a show of hands, and then he went later and posted about it online, saying, proudest moment of my life right here. And then he put a video of the shouting match out there. Holy Spirit of God indwelt me. I dropped my arms and let God fight my battle. What does God do in any of this? Venaro withered in the presence of a real man. Lots of people are afraid, not just me, he wrote. Yeah, just bullshit. So yeah, that's what they're doing, interrupting our meetings. So Jimmy Kimmel got suspended because of his on-air comments about Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk's killer. Really, he said that the people from MAGA were spending a lot of time online trying to prove this kid was anything but MAGA. We all know that doesn't necessarily mean he's calling the kid MAGA, but it doesn't really matter because once again they're weaponizing Charlie Kirk's brand. They're trying to use this inflection moment to like get things they already wanted, and what they want is these liberal late night show hosts off the air. They want Colbert gone. They want Jimmy Kimmel gone. They gonna let the other Jimmy stay, Jimmy Fallon, because he ain't nobody. He just want to come to work and get a check.
Yep.
But so ABC pulled Kimmel off the air, and there's other machinations afoot, meaning like ABC has some type of like merger that needs like FCC approval, and Disney is all wrapped up in that shit, and they know that eventually it's coming down to Trump's people. Trump has put loyalists in place, meaning his whims are what you're basically up for. The same thing happened with CBS, Paramount.
That shit and them whims can change from second to second,
which is why they're like, we must constantly always be capitulating to him, because if his whims can change at any moment, we never ever want to be on the wrong side of him. So whether he's directing us to cut off the free speech of our employees or not, we're going to err on the side of he wouldn't want y'all talking bad about him, or and so of course a lot of right-wing people have been feigning outrage over any level of like realistic commentary in the last week and some change. And so Jimmy Kimmel was essentially a victim of that. They asked Jimmy Kimmel to apologize. He said, no, my plan is to come on the air and just like explain what I said and defend what I said. And they said, well, then you will not be on the air, and basically told him your show is, like indefinitely suspended. Now there's supposedly they're negotiating some type of plan for his show to come back. I guess he's worried about, and I'm not saying this is a negative to him. I think it's fair, but he's probably worried about the people that work there more than himself.
Yeah, employees and things like that. And I seen when this came out, I seen a lot of actors that said something that he does like towards the end of the year. If you are on the Actors Guild, what they do is you have to have so many hours in order to qualify for insurance every year. And they said what he does is he actually gives some of them, if they right at the edge speaking roles, so they can cross the lines to a lot of them so that they can keep their insurance rolling year after year after year. Right. So a lot of them were very hurt because they was like, for some people, this is the only way they're going to be able to get insurance for their families and to hit those hours.
And of course, he can sue them. He can sue, it'll go to the Supreme Court. I'd still never feel comfortable with this Supreme Court. I mean, technically the law is on the side, and I'm not talking about ancient law. I'm talking about this Supreme Court ruled within the last 2 years that companies cannot suppress free speech of their employees just because the government is pressuring them to. And they really did put that, like those words almost exactly. So he seems to have an open and shut case with precedent on his side from a year ago, not precedent from 50 years ago where this Supreme Court has thrown a lot of that out. These would be the same people, the literal same people who ruled this a year or two ago. I still don't trust it. Even with everything I just told you.
They can come around and go the opposite direction.
And I've seen people online be like, yep, he gonna win his lawsuit. And I've said, I hear what y'all saying.
They're too inconsistent.
I hear what y'all saying. This Supreme Court seems to have completely nakedly grab power and err on the side of might makes right, and possession is 9/10 of the law and all that shit. When it was Biden, they were limiting the fuck out of presidential powers. When it's Trump, they're like, oh, sound fine to me. So I don't know what will happen.
Agreed.
But he should be able to win. Maybe that will scare it, whatever. I don't know. But the biggest thing is they suspended him. Then they said Sinclair, I think, who owns or maybe Nexstar. Yeah, Nexstar, who there's a lot of companies. So Sinclair, Nexstar, these companies own local affiliates. So meaning like ABC is aired through a bunch of local affiliates. They don't own all these channels. So like if you're in Chicago and you're watching ABC, that's why your local news is WXYZ or whatever, but it's actually
I think here's a WBCB.
It don't matter.
Yeah, okay.
It truly don't matter to
no problem. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yes.
Y'all go, we don't give a fuck about them letters. We got our own letters. My bad.
Right. My point being, because it comes through a local affiliate, they basically have a deal to air the stuff, and they don't have to, I guess, or they can choose not to for varying reasons. And a lot of in our case, Sinclair Media is a conservative organization that has bought up a lot of local news affiliates.
Yes, they have.
You know, this is what happens when like 5 companies own all the media companies in America, because once you start buying up all the media, it comes down to who owns it and how do they feel about things. So if they're conservative, all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we bought WGN, canceled Underground, and we decided that we're only running conservative news, or we're left-leaning stories and sources. We're no longer reporting those. And look, people get in line because these are their jobs. Like the average newscaster is not going on the fucking air to be like, actually, guys,
right?
You know. So anyway, all that to say, they threatened ABC with, we got 28 affiliates that won't air his show whether you want to air it or not. So then ABC goes, fuck that merger. Now we got the Sinclair Nexstar shit on our ass. Kimmel, we got to take you off the air unless you're going to apologize. He said, I'm not apologizing. And they said, okay, well then you off the air. And he said, okay. So they took him off the air, and they said on Friday, we're going to use that time slot to air a tribute to Charlie Kirk.
What? The fuck you take him off the air for then?
What do you mean? Because it's not like Jimmy Kimmel's going to air a tribute to Charlie Kirk. So
I mean, he's not, but they're doing this.
They have to put some programming in there.
Yes, the people that tune in for Jimmy, for
Kimmel,
him.
Yeah. They were going to get a tribute to Charlie Kirk. Yes.
Yeah, and I can see that making them upset.
Making the people that tune in. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. But I don't think it's about, please. There's a deeper thing I've just been thinking about a lot. I don't know if this is the point to bring it up, but I think, yeah, this is the point to bring it up. Okay, so let me just continue real quick, and then I'll bring up that point. So here's what I'm saying. They did not air the special, by the way, the Charlie Kirk special. It ended up not going, and they preempted it.
Okay, so they backed out of it.
Yeah, and they preempted it with like Family Feud or some shit. And they also had like, we still don't know when he's coming, when Kimmel's coming back, but it sounds like he's coming back. But they also had people canceling their Hulu subscriptions and stuff to a point where it actually shut down the unsubscribe website for Disney, Hulu, and all this shit.
God damn!
So many people were canceling it. They lost a percentage of their shares.
People were upset.
People were very upset, and now the plan seemed to always be to bring Kimmel back, but also shout out to all the other artists, not just late night show hosts, but just people in general that were saying, you guys are actually violating free speech. This is the cancel culture that other people don't want to talk about.
Right.
You know, and it's not that false equivocation, both sides bullshit. You know, I saw Andrew Schultz made a video where he tried to do the like, Charlie Kirk was killed using his freedom of speech, and liberals were celebrating that. And then look what happened just now with Jimmy Kimmel. because people are celebrating that. And I was like, those are not the same. Like, go look up who's the prominent liberals who were celebrating Charlie Kirk get killed. You won't find a single fucking politician. Even what you will find is that people were saying things like, I won't mourn him. But you're going to have to find random Twitter accounts and motherfuckers that ain't really public people.
Right.
That would say something like, hooray, got him, or whatever. You're not going to find a bunch, like, the kind of equivocation you're trying to make is something where, like, Donald Trump, the fucking president, is saying get Jimmy Kimmel off the air. Okay? Prominent conservatives who talked about free speech under Biden. Comedians like your unfunny ass who had to vote for Trump because I can't say the R word anymore.
Right.
Those motherfuckers got faces on it. It ain't equal. It ain't the same. I've never seen a liberal person call for the assassination of any fucking body.
Right.
So why are we pretending that this shit is equal? It's not. Charlie Kirk literally said Joe Biden needed to be sentenced to death. These are not equal things with equal weight. But my point being, because that's a cowardly way out. But my point being, you know, they like ABC's getting pressure financially to, like, you know, get Kimmel back on the air. They're getting social pressure, a bunch of stuff. And he'll probably get back because he's protected. You know, he's Jimmy Kimmel. Our society has decided that certain people are entitled to certain things. You know, it's the way people crushed when Colbert lost his show because of how he lost it. But, like, you know, when Game Theory went off the air, it was just, you know, it was sad that it went off the air, but that's just shit happens. Amber Ruffin loses her show, and this shit happens. There's no black late night show on TV. I think Game Theory with Monty Jones literally might be the last black late night TV show we ever have.
I agree. Unless
we find something for Roy Wood Jr. I don't even know if we gonna ever get one, dog. That's fucked up, right? Anyway, my point being, there's this underpinning belief, even with our boycotts and our cancel the Hulu. Like, I'm not arguing against it, and not, you know, I haven't been to Target in months. Like, I get it. But there's this underlying belief that I think we've accepted as a truth that is, I don't think is true, which is capitalism and consumerism and all this stuff. Like, the company's job is to make money. Yeah, it is the company's job. It is to make money. But we also think that the prioritization of making money will supersede all other priorities. And I think we have way more evidence that that is not true.
Agreed.
We know that Sony will not make the Denzel film because they just don't believe a black man can be an international star, regardless of the fact that brown people are the global majority.
Got emails about that, right?
Regardless of all the evidence that shows that if it's just purely naked capitalism, Denzel should be in everything.
Right.
You know, like, then why is Sam Jackson doing what he's doing? You know, like, but it's not just purely naked capitalism. And that's been a thing that has really disrupted. I feel like it's a lesson we should learn. You know, it's something like Target. I always looked at when they were doing good stuff for black people. I never thought it's because of some corporate dogma. I was like, this is probably what they think will make money at the moment.
Yes.
But at the same time, I don't know that losing money will make the people who are in charge, who were like, listen, I don't like fucking with these black people. I don't know that they bend and break and go, okay, we've lost enough money. My heart has been changed. Black people are in again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you would think we've had more than enough evidence. Target should already be back on, like, Tabitha Brown on front of everything. Male cosmetics here. Come get you. You know,
they blamed that CEO and told him to get the fuck out of here, but they ain't going back.
And he's somewhere still on the board, like Papa John's, I'm sure.
Right.
But the wherewithal of the stick-to-itiveness of bigotry is so strong.
Yes.
They'll, like, what's happening to America? Republicans, white people in mass, people that say they cared about the economy under Biden, that cared about wars and lives, we should have all seen them have 8 months of evidence by now, right? To go, well, this isn't happening the way that I thought it was going to happen. We got to shut this shit down. Let's impeach this guy. Let's look at all this corruption that's happening, because our whole thing was government spending, government corruption. We wanted to take Hunter Biden and put him in jail for the perception of corruption. We wanted to throw him in jail. Meanwhile, I could read the next 5-6 stories off of here. I won't right now, but I could read them, and all of them are implicating Trump officials in corruption, and there's crickets, right? We underestimate how strong the tie of bigotry and shared hatred is. We keep doing it. It's almost like we need to believe the myth that the economy is going to save us, because when the numbers are low enough, people will go, let's let this bigotry go. Like a raccoon stuck in a trap where there's foil, because they love shiny shit. And you can trap a raccoon by putting something where they can just get an arm through. And what you'll find is that the raccoon won't let it go. So it'll stay stuck in the fucking trap. You don't have to do anything extra. You just go out there, shoot the motherfucker or whatever, like put the cage around it, because it's like, the shiny thing, I need the shiny thing. But if they let the shiny thing go, they could be free. And that's bigotry in America. If you would let the bigotry go, we could all be free. Everyone's life would be enhanced by it. Not just black people, brown people.
Even yours.
Your eggs wouldn't cost as much.
Right. Your farms wouldn't be shutting down.
Right. Your job would pay more.
You would have hospitals in your little small ass town.
But we literally can't let it go. And I think about that all the time, because at the end of the day, we'll chalk it up to corporate greed.
Right.
But we often watch corporations lose money in very predictable ways. Because honestly, if they wouldn't have done shit, we would have been like, yeah, it wouldn't have been a story. If the next day they would have been like, yeah, and Kimmel's back Thursday and he'll be back Friday, because this is his fucking job. That's what he does.
This is what we pay him for.
Just because you're outraged, we will not pretend that what your outrage is about is valid. We won't pretend that he said what you are lying and saying he said. And we just finna move on. And you know what? Within 48 hours, this shit would have been over. And right-wing people would have still been mad in their little circles, like, oh, fucking Kimmel, but they don't like him anyway.
Right.
They were never going to support that time slot or Jimmy Kimmel or whatever. The Sinclair Corporation, you're fucking ABC Disney, nigga. You could buy them tonight. You could be like, well, then I guess we're erecting our own stations. You have more money than God. You're throwing money away on Star Wars films. Like you have the money. And so anyway, I say all that to say, like, there's this belief that like the economy is somehow like sacrosanct, or the way that the economy and consumerism and capitalism work is somehow above morality. It's sans morality. It's whether good or bad, it's all get the money. And I'm saying, no, it's not.
No.
Many times money has been sacrificed to keep the shiny bigotry in the hand.
Yes, because bigotry and white supremacy and all that stuff is irrational and illogical, and it always has been. And the thing is, you ask black people, go through history, how much money they lost over the years from just not allowing us to go through the front door. Not trying to be funny, like a lot of these companies like not allowing us to go to the council. So they have lost, if they really started kind of adding that up, billions of dollars. Oh, and they passed all these rules that keep us out. But our money spent too. In fact, if you served us, you would get more money from us, because for a lot of us, but during that time, we would just be happy to be there and not be treated like shit. So we're like, sure, I will buy extra. I will actually play the nigga charge, but as long as I'm allowed to be into the room.
Right.
And so I've always understood that money is not the answer. You just hope that white people's greediness would be like, fuck it, I don't care that you trans, I don't care that you're woman, I don't care that you black, I don't care your nationality, we trying to get this money. And we had faith that greed was gonna supersede that white supremacy, and white supremacy is coming back because the voters allowed it to.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of it for. I think we're mad. Well, I guess let's just cap it off with the last mad thing. The Senate has approved Charlie Kirk Day on George Floyd's birthday, the exact same day.
What I tell y'all yesterday? Didn't I say this yesterday? I said yesterday we were doing the feedback show. Unless I forgot the words that I said, I was like, I hope they don't. But I was like, I could see them giving him a day.
Yeah, they placed Charlie Kirk's remembrance on the same date as George Floyd's birthday, which is typically a day that honors the life of George Floyd, who was murdered in 2020. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe every Senate Democrat voted to approve it. And I understand that it's symbolic, and I understand. Look, nobody here is more nuanced and I think reasonable than me when it comes to like Democrats. I truly do try to see and give them the benefit of the doubt. But I feel like they fell for the trap. They're gonna say, no, we avoided the trap. I'm sure Hakeem Jeffries somewhere telling everybody they avoided the trap by voting for this, because obviously the trap is a very simple one. It's, if you vote against this, they'll say, oh, so you're okay with political assassinations.
Right.
And Hakeem Jeffries like, no. So you vote for it, then you go out and tell the people like, no, we voted for it because they were trying to trap us. But to me, all you did was say the trap worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a voice. You have a microphone. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be able to communicate. You go to your people that voted for you and you say, I didn't vote for that because I don't want to memorialize the man that Charlie Kirk was. And also, I don't agree with political assassinations. Oh, damn, was that difficult? Because the thing is, you're fucking around both ways.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other, you're fucking around. Either you're telling me and you're just hoping that I'm a person who's like, I'm reasonable enough to not like what you did, but go ahead and keep voting for you. And that's a good gamble, because I probably will. Most people probably will that were already voting for you. But you are pissing us off for no fucking reason.
For no reason.
There's just no reason.
And
like,
maybe this is just me. I hate to be like this. Nancy would never.
Right. I know the House is different than the Senate, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I truly don't think Nancy Pelosi would have done it.
She'd have said, vote no. The end. Fuck them.
Right. If anything, she would have maybe said, we going to let everybody vote however they feel like voting.
Yes,
and then she would have just left it at that. Like, I'm not talking about this shit again. And when she put her vote in, it would have been no.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, that's my guess anyway. But,
that's my guess too.
You know, I just think it's so fucking short-sighted and dumb. And mostly it just gives cover for Republicans reframing a man who was bigoted, divisive, as a saint, because his death erases his life. But the problem is, Republicans are not erasing his brand and his life and what he was fighting for. They're not saying, the Republicans are actually like, yeah, you saying that we should honor him also means we should honor him by bringing the National Guard into black cities, keeping trans people from being able to live free and happy lives, putting women back in the kitchen, right? Keeping Muslims out of office. These are things that he stood for. And so you can't have a little bit of it. You can't be like, no, we should honor this man. Okay, what part are you honoring him? You're literally just saying it's very sad that he died. You're not really honoring him, because no Democrat is going to sit up there and be like, no, I agree with him that black people need to not be able to be pilots, and I get nervous when I see them on a plane. You wouldn't use a single of any of his words.
That's been my
to justify honoring him.
Yeah, that's been my biggest.
So what are you honoring?
Thing, his words, and I think for me, this is the one of the few times that I'm really upset. A lot of times I understand that you know, a lot of the things that the Democrats do, they don't have the votes and all that stuff. So I'm very empathetic and very understanding to that. And the thing is, I understand, you know, depending on where your district, you have to vote certain ways. I get that, but this is one of the few times where I'm like, no, you need to get a goddamn backbone and say no. Like all jokes aside, like when it's other shit, y'all have backbones and y'all get out there and y'all go, we know that this is symbolic, but fuck y'all. Why is it that when it comes? Because guess what? Whoever is gonna run them ass, they're gonna run them motherfucking ass anyway. You might as well do your job and represent your district, because you're the one that got to go back to your district, and them people looking at you going, the fuck is this?
I'll do you one better. If I was a Republican running against one of these Democrats, I'd run an ad say they did vote to honor him.
Yes.
How about that? I would vote. I would be you out here talking about I'm against Trump. I'm gonna bring the people. I'm gonna do this, and I will run a motherfucking attack ad the next moment. Like, did you know this Democrat voted for Charlie Kirk to be honored? So everything they saying to you about how they here for freedom and rights and they gonna stand up to oppression is bullshit, because they actually honored this man who was against all of that.
Right. So you talking about a trap. You are literally setting yourself up for them to run attack ads, because if they ran attack ads going, you didn't vote for it, the people you know this, you're like, yeah, goddamn right.
Now 58 Democrats did oppose the resolution in the House. Another 38 voted present, and 22 didn't vote at all, because I think Hakeem Jeffries did not tell them you need to vote for this one, right? But still, he voted for it. The CBC, Congressional Black Caucus, said in a statement that this resolution is not about healing, lowering the temperature of our political discourse, or even ensuring the safety of Congress staff and Capitol personnel. It is unfortunately an attempt to legitimize Kirk's worldview, a worldview that includes ideas many Americans find racist, harmful, and fundamentally un-American. The statement continued. 42 of the 58 Democrats opposed to the measure were CBC members. Black people standing the fuck up.
Right.
We all we got. And you wonder why after the election so many black people are like, it's just us. You wonder why.
Yes.
Why we not leading the rally and the charge? And I know people are going to be mad about that. I'm not telling you can't be mad. I'm not telling you can't give a motivational speech. I'm just illustrating this is why people feel that it's us, because we know that these motherfuckers are weak when it comes to standing up for this shit.
Right.
And we're standing up because we have literal skin in the game, no pun intended. So it's like we know we're on the firing line. We can't brook this. We cannot go, let's give an inch. Some Charlie Kirk is okay. We're like, no, none. Stop letting them soften this man's image.
Not only that, we being black people, we know that if he had his way, I would not have my position. Fuck him.
Yeah, you could just put out, as a matter of fact, Representative Mark Vesey, Democrat from Texas, introduced an alternative measure just condemning political violence in general, citing Kirk's murder and last year's assassination attempts against the president, Donald Trump, as well as attacks targeting Democrats, January 6th, Capitol riot. The measure garnered 118 co-sponsors, all Democrats, no fucking Republicans. You fell for the trap. I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it. It's fucking stupid. It's just fucking dumb, because now you got to explain it anyway. You said you did this so you could not have to explain it. No, well, guess what you're doing? Sitting here in front of me explaining this shit, looking dumb, looking like you don't really want to fight this shit.
Right. Who are you representing? And that's the thing. You're supposed to represent the people. And I do agree. That's why for a lot of people, like I said before, we're gonna fight no matter what, but the fight has changed.
And you're out of power. So like,
yes, you're out of power.
Be opposition. Get into some of that good trouble. You out of power. This ain't like the same way that you can look at them when they do the government shutdown shit and be like, y'all got all the votes.
Right.
Y'all could keep the government going if y'all want. It's y'all that don't want to do it. If we don't vote to help them, then how are we going to explain to our people? You're going to explain by being like, there's not enough of us. You didn't put enough of us in charge, and we're actually not going to help this Republican government keep taking more and more of your rights and your money and the freedoms.
Agreed.
So if you would like us to help, you need to vote more of us in. That was the one thing when at the beginning of all this, and he took heat for it. So like I said, I'm fair. I'm not trying to be like just bang on people. But that was the one thing Hakeem Jeffrey said at the beginning of this, and I was 100% on board. When they was like, so what's the Democrats plan? He was basically like, to let people fucking see how bad shit is gonna get. And then we'll reconvene when it's time to vote, because y'all motherfuckers need to see. And he didn't say it like that, but I was and people was mad, like, oh, that's all the Democrats, so weak. And I was like, no, that's it. That's the truth. Nobody want to hear the truth in America. That's the truth.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time.
Shit gonna have to get bad. Real bad. This ain't even bad enough yet.
No, this is not.
It's still people online trying to figure some other way out of this shit, or thinking we coming together.
Yeah, as long as I hear that, I'm like, it ain't bad enough. Whatever the shit is, it ain't hit your street or your avenue yet, so you don't care.
Yeah, you got to get to a point where motherfuckers literally regret how they handled shit last year, and I don't see people regretting that. Clearly, we're mad. So that's it for this segment. And I want to watch football, so that's kind of it for the show. I think I'm gonna do some sword ratchetness, and then I'm gonna go watch football, because guys, fantasy football.
Are you ready for some football?
And you can tell I'm big into fantasy football, because I got a wizard and a unicorn.
What's happening with your shirt?
He doing a spell, so like this all. I gotta get my fantasy team together. I only got 5 minutes. All right, let's do sword ratchetness, and I'm sure we'll be back throughout the week. Except I might take Tuesday off for my birthday. Woman who killed dog with samurai. Wait, woman who killed dog with samurai sword. That's just the title? How's that the title? It should be. Oh, I see. Woman who killed dog with samurai sword jailed. There you go. Okay. My bad, guys. I missed a word when I was scrolling. I was like, whoa. A woman who stabbed a dog to death with a samurai sword has been jailed. Alicia Darcy of Platt Avenue in Sandbach, Cheshire, called police while intoxicated on October 12, 2024, and told them she had killed her son's dog after it attacked her. Officers found the dog on a sofa in a sleeping position with the sword embedded in his torso. She was jailed for 18 months at Chester Crown Court on Friday after she admitted causing unnecessary suffering to an animal in possession of an offensive weapon at an earlier hearing. She also was handed a lifetime disqualification order preventing her from owning or keeping dogs. The sword will be destroyed. PC Charlotte Owen described it as a very distressing case for everyone involved. The level of cruelty was abhorrent. She left the dog to die with the sword embedded in it. It was incomprehensible how someone could not only inflict such violence on an animal, but then be so callous as to leave it to suffer.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty evil, dog. No pun intended. All right, y'all. We'll be back throughout the week. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.